Have you ever wondered about the rich history of Kyrgyzstan? The region that we now know as Kyrgyzstan has been a bustling hub of human activity since ancient times. The earliest known inhabitants were the Scythians, a group of nomadic warriors who roamed the vast steppes of Central Asia. Over time, the Scythians were followed by various Turkic tribes, each leaving their unique imprint on the region. Fast forward to around the 9th century AD, and we see the arrival of the Kyrgyz people, a Turkic ethnic group that migrated into the region. This migration marked a pivotal chapter in the region's history, as the Kyrgyz people would go on to play a significant role in shaping the cultural, political, and social landscape of the area. Thus begins the journey of the Kyrgyz people, one that would take them through centuries of empires, conflicts, and cultural evolution. Imagine living as a nomad traversing the vast Central Asian steppes. Picture the Kyrgyz people, a Turkic ethnic group, living this nomadic pastoralist lifestyle, their lives intricately tied to the rhythms of nature. They roamed freely, herding their livestock across the rolling grasslands, their homes the portable yurts that could be packed up and moved with the changing seasons. The Kyrgyz, along with other Turkic tribes, were not isolated wanderers, but part of a larger tapestry of nomadic empires that shaped the history of Central Asia. They found themselves under the banner of the mighty Turkic Khaganate, a confederation of Turkic tribes that once stretched from the Caspian Sea to Mongolia. Later, they would become part of the Grand Mongol Empire, under the rule of the legendary Genghis Khan. Through these empires, the Kyrgyz people carved out their unique identity in the heart of Asia. As time passed, the Kyrgyz people began to organize themselves into tribal confederations and Khanates. By the 15th century, two of the most prominent Khanates were the Khanate of Kokand and the Khanate of Bukhara. These Khanates were not isolated entities, though. They often came under the sway of powerful neighboring empires. The Khanate of Kokand, for instance, was under the influence of the Qing dynasty of China. The Khanate of Bukhara, on the other hand, felt the impact of the Russian Empire. These foreign influences played a significant role in shaping the political, social, and cultural landscape of these Khanates. They brought new ideas, technologies, and practices that gradually transformed the Kyrgyz society. But these external influences were not one-sided. The Kyrgyz people also exerted their influence on their powerful neighbors. The influence of these neighboring powers would soon herald a new era in the history of Kyrgyzstan. By the 19th century, a new power had set its sights on Central Asia, the Russian Empire. The Russian Empire began its expansion into this region, bringing with them a wave of change. By the 1870s, the lands of present-day Kyrgyzstan were under Russian control, marking a significant shift in the region's dynamic. The Russian rule, however, was just the beginning of a new era. In the early 20th century, another seismic shift occurred as the region became part of the newly formed Soviet Union. This change brought about an entirely different set of transformations. Kyrgyzstan, under Soviet rule, experienced a surge of industrialization as factories and infrastructure sprang up across the region. Along with this, the Soviet Union enforced collectivization of agriculture, impacting the traditional nomadic lifestyle of the Kyrgyz people. Policies were also put in place to encourage cultural assimilation. Under the Soviet rule, Kyrgyzstan would undergo significant cultural and economic changes. In 1936, Kyrgyzstan was established as a Soviet Socialist Republic, marking the beginning of a transformative era. Under Soviet rule, Kyrgyzstan underwent rapid urbanization. Cities sprouted up, and with them came economic development. The once primarily nomadic society was ushered into an era of industrial growth, modernizing its economy and infrastructure. Education and healthcare became more accessible as the Soviet administration prioritized their spread across the republic. Schools, hospitals, and clinics mushroomed, changing the face of Kyrgyz society and improving the quality of life for many. But these advancements did not come without their own set of challenges. The Soviet era was marked by repression, with political dissent often met with harsh consequences. Forced labor was a grim reality for many, and environmental degradation became a pressing issue as industrialization took its toll. Despite these advancements, the Soviet era was a period of intense struggle and hardship for the Kyrgyz people. The winds of change blew across the Soviet Union in 1991, leading to its dissolution. Amidst this geopolitical whirlwind, Kyrgyzstan seized the moment and declared its independence, stepping into the world stage as a sovereign nation. The reins of this nascent republic were handed to Askar Akayev, the first president of independent Kyrgyzstan. Yet the early years of independence were not without their trials. Political and economic reforms were implemented, aiming to transform the country from a Soviet satellite to a self-standing state. However, these changes weren't without friction. Ethnic tensions simmered beneath the surface, occasionally erupting into social unrest. The economic transition, too, was a bumpy ride, with the nation grappling to find its footing in the global market. Despite these challenges, Kyrgyzstan persevered, guided by the resilience and determination of its people. Despite the struggles, the spirit of the Kyrgyz people remained unbroken. The journey of an independent Kyrgyzstan has been a tumultuous one, marked by political unrest and socio-economic challenges. Since stepping out from the shadow of the Soviet Union, the nation has weathered the storms of two revolutions, in 2005 and again in 2010, each leading to significant changes in government. The path towards stability has been further complicated by persistent issues of corruption, a daunting reality for many post-Soviet states. Poverty remains a significant concern, with a large portion of the population still struggling to secure a steady income. Ethnic tensions, particularly between the majority Kyrgyz and minority groups like Uzbeks, have also bubbled to the surface, adding another layer of complexity to the nation's post-independence narrative. Despite these hurdles, the Kyrgyz people remained resilient, pushing for change and progress. Their journey serves as a testament to the spirit of endurance and the relentless pursuit of a better future. In 2010, a new chapter in the history of Kyrgyzstan began with a popular uprising, leading to a shift in governance. Kyrgyzstan transitioned from a presidential to a parliamentary republic, a move that marked a significant shift in the political landscape. This new system aimed to distribute power more evenly, reducing the risk of authoritarian rule. Since this transition, Kyrgyzstan has held multiple presidential and parliamentary elections, a testament to its commitment to democratic processes. However, these elections have not been without their challenges. Disputes over electoral processes, allegations of corruption, and ongoing political tensions have frequently surfaced, causing ripples in the nation's journey towards democratic consolidation. Despite these hurdles, the spirit of democracy persists in Kyrgyzstan. Citizens continue to engage in the political process, advocating for their rights and pushing for government accountability. The country's commitment to democratic transition, albeit fraught with difficulties, is a beacon of hope for the region. Kyrgyzstan's journey towards a fully functional democracy continues to this day. The path to prosperity is often a challenging one, and Kyrgyzstan is no exception. The country grapples with economic hurdles that include a heavy reliance on remittances from Kyrgyz workers abroad. This dependence makes the nation's economy vulnerable to global economic shifts and changes in immigration policies of host countries. Unemployment rates remain high, especially among the youth, and the infrastructure, though improving, still needs significant enhancements. These factors contribute to a cycle of economic challenges that the country is striving to break. In addition to these internal trials, Kyrgyzstan's strategic location in Central Asia introduces a layer of complexity in its regional relations. It shares borders with powerhouse nations like China and Russia, and has a historically intricate relationship with its neighbor Uzbekistan. Navigating these relationships while championing its own interests is a delicate balancing act for Kyrgyzstan. Despite these challenges, Kyrgyzstan continues to strive for economic stability and good relations with its neighbors. The heart of any nation lies in its culture, and Kyrgyzstan is no exception. Its vibrant cultural heritage is a testament to the strength and resilience of its people. The nomadic pastoralist traditions of the Kyrgyz people live on today, echoing the rhythms of a life once led on the vast Central Asian steppes. The melodies and rhythms of traditional Kyrgyz music and dance resonate with the spirit of the land, while crafts such as felt making and carpet weaving embody the practical yet artistic talents of the Kyrgyz people. The Kyrgyz language, an integral part of the Turkic language family, carries within it centuries of history, folklore, and wisdom. It's through these folktales and legends that the Kyrgyz people pass down their values, their beliefs, and their understanding of the world. The rich tapestry of Kyrgyz culture weaves a story of resilience, adaptability, and a deep-rooted love for their homeland. This is the story of Kyrgyzstan.